whoever the leader may be, white or black. Now, you have a situation in Zimbabwe which is extremely difficult for the people. When you have inflation as high as it is, when you have an economy that is collapsing, when you see a country that was once the breadbasket of the region become a basket case, there is something wrong.
Do you share concerns that given his record to date, President Mugabe is highly unlikely to go quietly if indeed he loses this rerun?
There is concern. There is concern that whatever the outcome of the elections, there is need for dialogue, there is need for some mediation between the two groups, regardless of who wins. President Mugabe and his party have run Zimbabwe for over 28 years. The opposition hasn't had the chance to govern because the alternance that you expect in democracy has not happened. And so it is going to be extremely difficult whether the opposition wins. They will need to find a way of living with the ZANU-PF, who has controlled levers of power for so long and knows the situation so well.
I'm wondering how African leaders expect to be taken seriously when you have a situation like Zimbabwe where you've got this runaway inflation, no food. How can Africa be taken seriously?
We need to be careful not to make Zimbabwe litmus test for the whole of the continent. We don't do that in any part of the world. So to make that a litmus test for Africa, that if Zimbabwe fails or President Mugabe does something wrong, Africa as a whole is shamed and is not.
That's true, brother. That's true. Tell them.
But I do agree with you that here is a country with a tremendous potential, and this is why the regional neighbors who could also benefit have to come together to work to get Zimbabwe right. The tendency for some to think this is an internal matter is nonsense. An internal matter that creates 3 million refugees in a neighboring country, an internal matter that creates a situation where countries that used to buy food from Zimbabwe cannot be seen as purely internal. And this is why I'm happy to see SADC and the African Union becoming as engaged and helping find a solution, just as you indicated they were able to do in Kenya, and I hope we will succeed.
They have to do more though, don't they?
They have to do more, and I myself, as I said, I'm talking to them and behind the scenes.
The situation in Zimbabwe is being blamed partly, at least, for the current violence in South Africa, but the problems there appear to be going much deeper than the xenophobic hatred we're seeing on the streets. How concerned are you about the socioeconomic problems there in South Africa that are threatening to turn Africa's economic breadbasket into a basket case?
It's desperation, high food prices, and when people are desperate, they often turn on the other in this case being the Zimbabweans. The government has to take firm measures, and from what I'm seeing, they are beginning to be firmer in handling this crisis. I don't think it's purely xenophobic. It's there are economic reasons.
When you say the government appears at least to be taking a firmer hand, what is it that you're seeing? Because many people will say they don't see enough being done by either Mbeki or Jacob Zuma at this point.
Well, what they need to do is to appeal to the people and have police out to protect these people, even if necessary, send out the military. Protection of civilian is an important secondary mission of any army. And when bullies come